Welcome back to the 1% Mind. In Phase 2, we are auditing your financial psychology to protect the growth generated by your digital systems and leverage protocols. Now we enter the most critical test of human behavior. Imagine you have reached a massive milestone. Your income is finally decoupled from your time, and a significant influx of new capital has hit your bank account. To celebrate, you decide to reward your years of discipline. You tell yourself that one single luxury item will serve as a monument to your hard work without affecting your long-term trajectory. You buy a magnificent, custom-tailored $5,000 Italian suit. It is a masterpiece of craftsmanship. When you put it on, you feel like a titan. You assume this purchase has satisfied your desire for luxury. But on Monday morning, the friction begins. You put on the suit and look down at your shoes. A perfectly functional pair of $200 Oxfords you've worn for years. Next to the Italian silk and perfect tailoring, those shoes look cheap. The aesthetic contrast is so sharp that it nullifies your feeling of success, making you feel like an amateur playing a part. To resolve the tension, you return to the boutique and spend $1,000 on handcrafted leather shoes. You look in the mirror and see a cohesive image. But as you step outside and sit in your reliable 6-year-old Toyota, the environment suddenly feels inadequate. Your brain rejects the contrast between the $6,000 outfit and the cloth seats. Within 3 weeks, you have signed a lease for a $100,000 European luxury vehicle to match the caliber of the man behind the wheel. Because of the vehicle, your modest apartment building now feels like a risk to the car's finish. You break your lease and purchase a massive home in an elite gated community. Once inside the new home, your old furniture looks ridiculous against the marble floors. You hire an interior designer to replace every single piece you own. In 6 months, you have upgraded every aspect of your material existence. Your newfound wealth is gone, replaced by massive monthly overhead and golden handcuffs. That $5,000 suit was a capital-destroying virus. This behavior is not a modern consumer anomaly. It is a deeply wired human vulnerability. To see it in action, we have to look at the life of the 18th century philosopher, Denis Diderot. This technical illustration from Diderot's encyclopedia represents the immense intellectual work he produced while living in absolute poverty. His life was unified. His battered desk and straw chairs perfectly matched his identity as a struggling intellectual. That harmony ended when Empress Catherine the Great became his benefactor. She gifted him a magnificent, luxurious scarlet robe. Diderot sat at his old wooden desk while wearing the elite garment and felt a profound psychological disturbance. The robe made his entire study look offensive. Driven by internal friction, he used his new wealth to buy an expensive writing desk to match the robe. He bought matching leather armchairs, paintings, and rugs. Within months, replacing his study's original items completely blew his fortune, plunging Diderot into massive, crippling debt. Reflecting on his collapse, Diderot wrote, "I was absolute master of my old dressing gown, but I have become a slave to my new one." This spiral of consumption, where a new possession forces a chain reaction of upgrades to maintain cohesion, is known as the Diderot Effect. Why do rational, educated professionals fall into this trap? Because we do not buy objects, we buy puzzle pieces for an identity. Psychologists call this identity cohesion. Your brain demands every item in your environment vibrates at the same frequency. Introducing a luxury item acts as a foreign puzzle piece, detected as a biological threat. To resolve this tension, your brain demands the destruction and replacement of your surrounding environment. This explains the catastrophic math of lifestyle creep. A high earner buys a $1.5 million estate and assumes the damage is limited to the mortgage. They are blind to the compounding costs, the need for elite landscaping, designer casual wear, and artisanal dinnerware to match. The house becomes a black hole, forcing you to finance aesthetic cohesion across your entire life. The true elite view the Diderot effect as a lethal pathogen. They build psychological firewalls to protect their capital. Protocol 1 is the firewall of aesthetic dissonance. While most people are terrified of mismatching, the 1% intentionally cultivate it. You will see elite investors pairing a $30 t-shirt with a $200,000 Patek Philippe watch. This trains the brain to isolate variables. It proves that a luxury object has no power to dictate the rest of your wardrobe or your identity. Protocol 2 is the baseline freeze. When you receive a massive influx of capital, your instinct is to elevate your entire lifestyle immediately. You must execute a non-negotiable 24-month prohibition on upgrading your primary house, car, or daily wardrobe. You need time to detach your identity from the capital and move that money into index funds, real estate, and acquisitions. Once the capital is generating returns, you can surgically execute upgrades, but only when they are funded by the interest, never the principal. These protocols separate your capital from the aesthetic panic of the scarlet robe. The final defense is Protocol 3, the one-in, zero-out identity shift. The 99% act as consumers, linking their self-worth to their objects. The 1% operate as capital allocators. A capital allocator derives zero self-worth from a car or a suit. They view objects as tools, fabric to meet a dress code, or metal for transportation. Success is the ability to place a luxury item next to a battered desk and feel absolute peace, because you no longer believe the object defines who you are. True wealth is loud on a spreadsheet and completely silent in the living room. If this masterclass exposed the trap of lifestyle creep, hit the like button, subscribe to the 1% Mind, and share this with a colleague who just bought a house they don't need. Stop matching your furniture and start scaling your leverage. I will see you in the next video as we